Hi, I'm Liv, podcasting from Italy.
And I'm Tina, podcasting from the Philippines. Welcome to Meryenda Therapy Podcast, a show where we celebrate our 40s one merienda at a time.
Hi mga ka-Meryenda, welcome back. This is Liv. Thank you for joining us in our third episode. There's so many topics that we want to cover for you, so we hope you will support us by following us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. To those who already followed us, thank you. And if this is your first time joining our session, we have 2 more previous episodes that you might want to check out too.
Hello mga ka-Meryenda! Welcome again to another episode of Meryenda Therapy. Please follow us on Facebook also in addition to the podcast platforms. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Meryenda Therapy. There we will post our merienda. And Liv, shout out lang ako sa ating mga friends, Mr. and Mrs. Spencer Secretario, for sponsoring our episode today and the previous 2 episodes.
Previous ones. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Secretario.
We have generous friends.
Tina, from the last episode and last time we saw each other, medyo long pa yung hair mo. I see that you had a haircut.
Yes, this is fresh just yesterday because hindi ko mapanindigan ang long hair. I was trying to grow my hair up to chin length and have a short bangs. Parang the movie Amelie. But I cannot maintain even a bob cut hair. So I'm back to my short hair.
I think from the time I've known you, it's always been that short hair.
Ikaw, you've always had long hair.
No, in college, I had short hair like that. I mean, not as short, pero like parang pixie cut. Hindi pa ako chubby cheeks dati. So I could pull it off. And then Singapore, then that's when I started growing my hair. Actually, nakakatamaran ko lang na gupitin. But yeah, I like short hair then. Kaso medyo masyado na chubby ang cheeks ko para sa hairstyle na yan ngayon.
No, pwede nga. Ako nga rin chubby. Pero it's very practical, it's very convenient, wash and wear lang. Pero mamaya we will ask our guests if they have
I wanted to
preference.
ask, have you ever gone out on a date with a guy na nagsabi na, maybe you should grow your hair?
None that I remember. Maybe that's why they were with me, because they didn't have preference over long hair. But there were well-meaning friends and colleagues who have suggested that I grow my hair because a lot of guys nga prefer long hair.
Sakto yan sa topic natin later. We have 3 guys joining us in a conversation.
Yes, exciting. First time.
This is about dating in our 40s. What exactly are we going to cover ba, Tina?
Yes, exciting, because we always say here on Meryenda Therapy that 40s is a good time to reflect on how our lives have been, and dating and relationships and marriage eventually are topics that are a big deal to us. Now we are going to talk about being single in our 40s because it's not so common. It's becoming common nowadays, but it's not expected that you're still single at 40. We are coming from a place of desiring marriage, kasi syempre this is not applicable to those who do not want to get married.
Yeah. And I think I was telling you offline, Tina, that this kind of conversation, I think, is not so rare among us women. Like we talk about this, right? We talk about relationships. We talk about past relationships. We ask each other, kumusta na love life, over merienda, over coffee, kahit while walking towards the train station. But I'm not too sure if guys do that. I mean, do they talk like that? Like, pare, how's your love life? I don't know if they do that, right?
Yeah. When girls talk, we just speculate a lot of what men are thinking. Now we're going to go deep into our guests' minds over what they think about this topic.
I think this would be very interesting, especially kung meron tayong mga listeners na in their 40s and are still single and, like you said, desiring marriage.
Okay, without further ado, please meet our guests, or can we call them our searchers? First is Radek, our half Filipino, half Czech guest who is located in Prague, where he has lived for the past 20 years. He's an operations manager for an ICT company while also managing his own side business. So he's in his mid-40s.
Yeah, that's it. That hurts to say, but mid-40s.
Hi, Radek. Welcome to Meryenda Therapy.
My pleasure.
All right, our second... Yes. Our second guest Searchy is Clark. And okay, very short introduction. He is our late 40s or introverted late 40s for parent. Tama ba, Clark?
Yes, yes. I'm a fur parent to a puspin named Whitey. Napaka-creative ng name niya. My mom
Okay.
named yung stray cat dito during pandemic. So yeah.
Okay, so just one.
Yeah, isa lang. And that sums it up actually. Yun lang talaga ako. Medyo introvert na pagdating mo ng 40s. Hindi na nagagada. Kaya sa bahay
And,
lang.
and that's all right. Welcome to Meryenda Therapy, Clark.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you.
welcome. And completing our searchers, please meet Joey, who works in a microfinancing company as part of the management. He is also a part-time personal trainer specializing in obstacle course racing. He competes in obstacle course races and recently got into motorcycling. He enjoys consuming music, performing, playing board games and video games occasionally. I think it's important to insert that, no, Joey? Occasionally lang naman daw ang video games. And finding good places to eat. Oh, he's a foodie. He's the youngest among the three. Oops, he's the youngest among the three. Welcome, Joey. Welcome to Meryenda Therapy.
Good to be here. Oh, definitely, occasionally, but it's part of who I am. So.
Yeah, thank you. This early, we want to thank you for taking on this challenge to get to in our show and to answer the burning questions of ours and our listeners. But first, before we begin our questioning, we talk about our merienda. I'm having banana bread.
You bake that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. For me, I wasn't prepared today, so I have just cut fruits, apricot. So I'm still excited because we have an apricot tree. It's a back garden. Yeah, first time I ate fresh apricot, I only just used to eat the candied one during aperitivo. So I'm a bit excited about having a fresh apricot
Yes.
tree.
Freshly picked.
Yes. How about you, Joey? What's your merienda?
My merienda, it's something simple. I prepare this like when I need a quick
Can we see?
merienda. It's just
okay.
a sandwich, pretty simple like me, but also kind of weird. It's a peanut butter and cheese whiz sandwich. So
Tamis
Peanut
alat.
butter
we got
and
the
cheese.
sweet savory.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's just after lunch here. And sorry to hurt like the whole theme. I'm not really much of a merienda person, but I'm just having my after lunch tonic water and espresso, which is like a summer drink here.
Oh, okay. It's like a
So-
fizzy espresso.
Yeah,
Fizzy
it's
kick.
when it's hot here, basically what people do, the espresso shots. Because in the Philippines, diba, they do this like big American style coffee. It's very sweet.
Mhm.
Here, it's not popular at all. It's like really the hard, no sugar, no milk type of coffee. And in the summer, they just put ice and tonic water on it. So it's a
Refreshing.
nice combination.
All
Yeah.
right. Clark?
Of course. Nag-prepare talaga ako. I went to the market earlier. Wet
Wow.
market talaga siya. Para bumili ng puto kasi I find yung, kita ba? Yeah.
Yes.
Yung Goldilocks puto medyo sweet eh. So ano
Yeah.
lang siya. Palengke puto with Goldilocks. Ano to?
Dinuguan.
Dinuguan, yeah.
Wow.
Ano ba dinuguan sa English?
Bloody.
Bloody pork stew.
Bloody-
Parang ganun, ano?
Yeah.
Parang,
It doesn't
yeah.
sound nice.
Pero ang weird, di ba? It's one of the most weirdest na merienda na invento. Karong ganda ng combi, di ba? Para siyang champurado with tuyo. Kaya mga ganyan.
Malinamnam.
Oo, exactly.
People tend to have different definition of dating. That's where the confusion lies sometimes when two people are talking to each other. So how would you define dating?
Oh, and when I say I'm dating someone, it's basically I'm getting to know someone
Mhm.
with the intent to like move forward in a relationship toward marriage. So
Okay, that's good.
basically, yeah, it's just like talking, going out, discovering things about each other. So yeah.
Okay. Do you all agree?
Clark and Radek, is it the same?
I don't know. For my part, I think I'd remove the marriage word. It's just like probably dating is just like something more, let's say, getting to know somebody more a little exclusively. Without and just seeing where the flow goes and see what happens.
Okay, so you want to take one step at a time. You're more of like,
Like-
let's see where this brings us.
Exactly.
Okay.
I agree with Joey. Pero nagtataka ko ba't ako nasama dito? Kasi non-existent yung dating talaga sa akin lately. So anyway, but of course...
Baka after guesting here,
Yeah.
magkaroon na.
So, sige na. Anyway, yeah, I agree. Yun nga, it's basically getting to know each other. And although non-existent siya lately, but yeah, I had a few dates naman din before. And yes, kasi for me, pag dating, parang synonymous na siya yung with exclusively dating. Siguro, yun nga, with guys, or siguro with girls, they can, go on, dates with different, guys or different partners or different, people, of course. Then, pero pag guys, personally, pag nagde-date na, yun nga, I'm pursuing this person para mag-progress yung friendship basically to something more romantic, parang ganyan.
Would a girl know that you're pursuing her exclusively? Like, when do you put labels? I heard Radek say, you don't want labels. You don't want labels yet at the early onset. But when do you start defining? Kasi I know that there's confusion there, di ba? Parang, when are we official? Like, how important or not important to you is defining a relationship?
I don't hear probably for my case, probably it's a culture clash as well.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was living in the Philippines, diba, you would like say, are we together? Are we not? Diba? Like, tayo na ba? Hindi.
Mm-hmm.
But now here it's just like, I just realized how everything, the equality among men and women is already there, so women are more empowered at work, in school, in career. So it's really different to define, the people don't like to be saying, okay, we're together, we're exclusive. Sa akin lang talaga, it's just like labels. You can feel it if you're like exclusive. Sa akin, you can really feel it if it's exclusive. For example, if you go out for a weekend, if you start making plans like 2, 3, 4 weeks ahead of time, like going out for the weekend or spending some holidays together, then you can feel like there's some sort of exclusivity na okay, it's something more. It's just not just like random dating.
So you would rather just not say it out loud, like, or maybe
Sa akin kasi,
feel yourself into the situation.
yeah, sa akin kasi like a lot of people, they that's what I said, like that time for measure, because a lot of people get scared of the M word. They feel the pressure, that there's already a target date, or people don't want to be said, okay, who said that we're together, we're not. I just feel now I just got to let everything settle naturally. You'll feel it naman eh. If you guys are together, you're working out naman and like you're seeing each other, you feel natural together, then there's not much words needed to say, hey, let's plan like go for a weekend together or stuff like that.
Okay, and I think the timeline could be really different for each person, right? Like what you said, Radek, you'll feel it, but for some guys maybe they'll feel it after, I don't know, like a month or two of going out, but then for some it could take like 6 months or so, right? I mean, the timeline would be different for each, but I guess what we want to clarify then is there should be some kind of a clear, not really announcement, but you let your partner know, when you get a certain point that, okay, I'm not seeing other people aside from you. That could be after a year or 6 months or 2 years, but may ganun ba? Or not necessarily, but then.
Sa akin kasi, I mean, like, if you guys, the same thing sa akin, I mean, if it's natural for you guys that you guys are working out together, it's kind of like a mutual respect, everybody's an adult anyway. You know, if you guys are going to be like dating around, then that's not the same. That's not the correct person for you. But if you guys are like, you know, making time for each other for simple things like, I don't know, brunch, you know, going out for a walk, etc., making specific time for like normal activities, then you know, then that for me, you guys are together. You know, you don't really need to say, hey, we're together from when, since when. My last partner, basically, we were joking, or we're 1 year together, and she was like, since when? We didn't really have a date. You know, we just said we dated from this time, but we never see each other. You know, we just ended up going on trips. You know, like, and we're like, she was like, we don't have to celebrate 1 year. I don't know when was the 1 year exactly. So then it can become awkward. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Okay.
why
it's my personal opinion. So
yeah, that's why other people would prefer labels. But for Joey, because Joey is part of a community, a Catholic community where they would prefer labels, I suppose.
It's also it helps make things a bit clearer, no? And
Mm-hmm.
more purposive actually. You're not just hanging out, and sometimes it can be confusing. No, you're like hanging out lang, and then like, oh, ano na ba to, di ba? Parang ganyan. Maraming ganyan na they don't even know that they're actually on a date. Parang ganyan, hindi sinasabi. So it's also important for us to clarify na you're asking someone out on a date, like you're actually dating versus just hanging out with someone, getting to know them as friends. Because we consider like dating to be like a step towards marriage. So like just building friendships is fine, but if you're actually dating, it's like with a purpose to move to marriage. Of course, it doesn't always work out, and that's where like it comes to a point like you can actually be dating and not yet be in the an exclusive relationship, right? So that point comes later when you both agree that you want to like move into an exclusive relationship, just be seeing each other exclusively. So yeah.
When was your last relationship? Or yeah, could you share? Right, like you said, that was how many years
we
ago?
broke up. I think we broke up in August, September last year.
When you
Okay,
say
okay.
broke up, that's really a defined relationship.
Yeah, we broke up. It was like,
Mm.
like we were together. I mean, yeah, literally, like kind of we were exclusive.
Okay.
Joey?
Me, it's been a bit of a while now. 2017, so 7 years na pala.
Okay. Before COVID.
Yeah.
Clark? How about you?
Mhm. Ako din.
Calendar?
Hindi. Ako din. Pre-COVID.
Okay.
Basta 2019, hindi na naging kami. So we broke up 2019 January.
Okay.
And parang kilala mo to, Liv.
Kilala ko ba?
Oo. Sige.
Okay. Sige, tingnan natin kung sino yan. Related sa next question ko, since you guys, so you've had your relationship like some years ago, was it a conscious decision to still be single, to not get married yet in your 40s, or it just happened that way? May ganun ba sa guys na parang you set timelines na by the time I get to this age, I should be married na? Was it a conscious decision?
I think we all had plans naman.
In your 20s? Would you say you had plans in your 20s or 30s?
We all like something in mind when we when we were younger. Now we'd probably be married or in a relationship by so and so. Of course, different circumstances would change your plans, or in my case, hindi nag-match parang yan. It's so it just happened then, but at the same time you're still actively looking for the right one. So,
Let's see. This will be like a panawagan, no, Liv? Let's
Later, mananawagan tayo for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the reason I ask also is because I know there are some who would say that, I mean, 40s, I don't know, I think now hindi na siya as old as nung dati. Siguro nung 80s, ganyan, parang pag 40s ka na ang tanda. Pero ngayon, with so many opportunities, you touch on this, Radek, right? Even with women, so many opportunities available to them. Parang hindi na siya yung parang main goal. So, and there are some people who might think that, okay, 40s, I have so many things that I want to achieve, and that's probably not marriage. Parang later na lang yung marriage. I want to do this muna with my career. I want to do this muna with, my passion and all those things. Kaya I asked if this was a conscious decision or, yun nga, it happened lang. Yeah. So with Joey, it happened. There was an intention, but we know that plans don't always, things don't always go according to our plan. Clark and Radek, is it the same?
Well, I think in my part, I got a small thing. I'm divorced. So I made that step before. Then after that, I just realized I'm not going to rush back in to a situation where I know the person won't have the exact same settings or the same wants that I want. Kasi mahirap ka magplano na kasi, okay, ganito na yung mindset ko. Tapos yung mindset ng other person is totally different. Sa akin personally, ito yung make conscious decision. Pero like the others, like the guy said, it's like, of course, even me, I had like this, I was in college, sabi ko, by this time I'll have like 2 kids, I'll be teaching him all this karantaduhan, like I'll make a mini me, like the kind of version of me. Pero sa akin, I mean, it's like now everything is like so much different. It's not like old fashioned. After college, you get married, you get a career, you get married, you have like 2-3 kids, etc. Now it's totally different. So sa akin, feeling ko, if I can't find somebody who has the same mindset as me, then I'm not going to rush into it. If I find somebody na, okay, I got the same mindset, this is how we're going to do it, okay, I'm open to the whole situation. Pero I'm not trying to rush it in any way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I could.
it's not a hard target.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could, but I don't want to.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's now more acceptable it's now more acceptable to be 40 and still single. Kasi ang dami nga. Ang
Yeah.
dami nating friends live, di ba?
Correct. Yeah.
Actually, all my friends here, they're like, oh, you got time. You're like, oh,
Mhm.
you got so much time. I'm like, okay. So, less pressure.
And Clark?
Ako gusto ko na. Diretsahan na yun. Ano
Yeah.
ba? Yung, may mga plans, of course, sino man din eh. Kasi syempre, ako yata yung parang talagang pinaka-traditional kasi nga, ever since nandito na ako sa Manila. So of course, yung roots mo ganun pa din. Yung traditional na ligaw. And also yung label kanina, I like that. So, gusto ko yun na may mga labels din. But of course, kasi yung pressure nga, tama si Radek na may pressure dun sa M-word eh. So although you date to marry, ganun din ako. Kaya lang of course, sometimes things don't work out like you both planned siguro yon. Kaya hindi nag-work out or hindi natutuloy sa ganun. Pero of course, yeah, yun naman talaga yung end goal for me. And yun nga, on my sa age ko ngayon, definitely. Yun sana yun yung magandang, I mean, yun na sana siguro yung kulang na lang ng 40s ko. Kasi parang yung mga passion kanina lumabas yung word niyan. Nagawa ko na yun yung mga passion projects mo or hobbies mo, ganyan. So parang talagang it's time for me to settle down na yung ganyan. Nasagot ko ba? Yun nga ba yung tanong yun? Parang nag-open up na ako rito.
Yes, yes.
It's okay. So Clark, where are you looking for dates?
Sad, pero kasi, yun nga, parang the more I age, mas natatanggap ko na ang na-mention lang sa akin ng friend ko to last week yung single blessedness. Bigla siyang lumabas, yak, di ba? Or anyway, parang the more you age, parang, sige, ito na yun. Mukhang mag-gardening na lang ako, parang Mr. Miyagi na lang yata yung magiging buhay ko pagtanda.
But
Pero anyway, ang sagot doon is, since bahay work lang ako, hindi ako actively seeking eh. Kung may makilala, kasi ayoko sa work. Parang
But
syempre,
where
mas
would you
complicated.
where would you prefer to meet that person? Like, would you want to be introduced by friends, or would you be willing to go online?
Oo.
Find dates?
Yung online siguro wala nang stigma dyan eh. Or
Yeah.
siguro sa mga mas conservative siguro naman.
Have you tried?
Wala na. Online? Yeah.
Mhm.
Naman, may mga dating apps din. Ganon. Tapos, ayun, sana yung parang yung pang-movies talaga, yung makakasalubong mo, tapos babangga yung books niya. Or mga ganon. Or sa library.
Ideally, ganyan.
Gusto ko yung sa simbahan. Tapos ama namin, yun. Masaya yun eh. Kasi hahawak ng kamay niya. So anyway,
No,
mga
wala
ganon.
nang hawakan ngayon.
Wala na ba? Kasi di na rin
O COVID na.
Sorry na.
Maybe later on we'll give an address, no, para sa mga listeners natin in case na gusto rin nilang makakasalubong lang sa corner ng library o ng
Saan ka ba,
simbahan.
saan ka ba nagtatrabaho, Clark? Where's your workplace?
Basta it's a boring
BGC?
job sa BGC, doing
Okay, so BGC, panawagan.
BGC. Dami na ngayon sa BGC.
Baka magkasalubong lang.
Okay. Si
Thanks.
Joey, where are you looking for dates if you're actively looking?
Well, several places though. Like I try online. I have, but mainly it's in my interest groups. Like getting into when you get older, I think naturally yung circles of influence or your like circle of friends starts to shrink, or the people you like come into contact with, no, parang lumiliit na yung parang kayo na naman. So for me it's like if I'm interested in trying out a sport, I just try a new sport or try a new thing, go on a hike with like random people, since I enjoy also like hiking, or so there's also that like chance for it to like occur more quote unquote naturally, like where you have common interests. But it's also at the same time also purposive looking in our community, looking within our community as well, where we have people with the same values already, same like mindset as well. So
Yeah, that's good. And you, Radek, are you online, or are you prefer meeting in person your dates?
I think you can like see the trend from my answers. It's like, okay, there's like online, like the guy said, and there's not much stigma in it already. But I just try to see what the flow. And if I meet somebody at the gym, if I meet somebody at work through random social events, it's just like I don't want to put like all my eggs in one basket. If I find somebody that I find interesting, or like somebody with a nice, let's say, aura, sige, try natin. I don't think na okay, doon tayo maghanap, and wag natin i-try. I mean, baka kasi if I'll just like focus on one place, baka I'll miss out on something.
Since you and Joey are very physically active in your obstacle course racing, is it a preference for you to choose a physically fit person as well? Would you like to have
Sa akin,
somebody
it's a
who's
must.
must?
Sa akin, it's a must. I actually dated a couple of girls, and they were really nice, but their lifestyle was not okay for me. In the sense I'm not asking to be professional athletes or regular, but like to enjoy kahit may paano respeto sa katawan, respeto sa let's say physical activities. Kasi importante sa ating racing, being active, going to the gym, working out. And I just feel na it's hard to respect your partner if you don't respect yourself physically as well. So, yun lang. Sa akin, hockey yun. It's a must.
Okay.
It's like
So any other non-negotiables for you? Kasi it's a must
Ako,
already.
smoking, no to
Because
smoking. Like,
it's not in the lifestyle.
it's not about the lifestyle. It's just that like, I don't know. I just don't like the smell of them. So it's like hygiene. I'm like a very hygienic type of person. So sports talaga, tsaka yung health attributes talaga.
Okay. Earlier, Tina and I were talking about because you just had a haircut. So physical, of course, lifestyle, like you said, it has to be something that aligns sa lifestyle mo. I think somebody mentioned mindset, value. These are the things that we heard from all of you earlier. For physical, muna, is there anything na, or it's more of a preference, or meron bang mandatory or
Like
non-negotiable when it comes to physical attributes?
Like what attracts you to a woman? Like what catches your eyes first? So that our listeners would know, pasok ako sa attractions ni Clark, ganyan.
In terms of like physical appearance, walang parang must for me. It's not like a must, but I agree with Radic. No, like an active lifestyle would be something I definitely prefer, since I do a lot of activities that are like in that lifestyle as well. Parang it's hard to imagine like going through life and then I'm doing one thing and then they're just at home, something like that, or hindi ka sasamahan, yung ganun. But what attracts me, like immediately, smile, like a really great smile.
Okay, that's nice. And want to share your essentials or your like the must-haves, non-negotiables?
Non-negotiables. Well, definitely shares my same values that I have. Like for me, family is very important. So she has to be like really into like family. I work with the youth a lot, so so like a heart for the youth and service and mission. So there are things, an adventurous spirit. So I was saying, like, it's not essential for me for them to be like physically like super active, but like just having that adventurous spirit, like game to try like anything. So yun yung mga must.
Okay, Clark, care to share your must-haves, non-negotiables, and preferences?
Sige. Ano ba? Again, although wala naman talaga nung parang mold, but of course, I dated naman din a few. Pero parang nakikita ko na I'm attracted talaga, of course, number one, yung intelligence. Gusto ko kasi nakakwentuhan ko ng kahit anong topic eh. Creative types, yun, medyo attracted din ako sa ganon, mga uma-art, ganyan. Tapos yung mga nerdy, ganyan, ano ba? Basically ganun eh. Sa itsura, hindi gaano, pero more on sa intelligence talaga. And open-minded, tsaka hindi judgmental. Kasi medyo may pagka-weird yung mga opinions ko minsan. So anyway, yun yan. Tapos na negotiables, yun lang, syempre. I don't mind if she smokes siguro occasionally or pag lumalabas, ganyan. Wag lang addict, mga ganun. Nasira yung buhay natin doon. Tapos, ano ba? Siguro, na-negotiable and red flag na yan eh. Tapos, yun, basically, ganun lang. Gusto mabait. Tapos, yun din, pareho kayo ng values. Yun din, tama. Tapos, Joey, family din. Tsaka yun, siguro, mahilig din sa cats tsaka sa dogs.
Do you guys have parang preferences kung same nationality since nag-go online din kayo, or does it have to be Pinoy, or in your case, I guess, Radek, since half Pinoy, may ganun ba? It doesn't have to be Asian or kahit na ano. So ikaw, Clark, meron ba?
Ano? I never dated outside siguro anyone outside Manila or outside the Philippines. But of course, naman, parang nakakilig lang bigla na, parang hindi ko nakita yung ganung opportunity na magka-crush kaya sa akin ng ibang Asians din or ibang lahi. Ganun. Pero of course, why not?
Definitely I'm open, but I think it's just easier.
Relating
Culture
to.
is the same. So less yung like cultural misunderstandings. But definitely I've dated someone from Singapore. Not Singaporean, not hindi Filipino. Singaporean. But
So online to?
no, like
Or personal?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it helps when you have the same culture already. So you avoid it. But I'm not parang close to the idea of dating someone from like different country, different. It comes down to, again, you go back to the non-negotiables, sharing the same values, same drive, same missions.
Liv is the only one married among us, so she's had experience using the dating app. I'm on Catholic Match. Ikaw, Liv, what did you use?
No, I only use one actually dati. So, ano ba siya? Okay Cupid.
Okay, Cupid.
Mm-mm.
Joey, what app are you on?
I'm also Catholic Match, but I'm also tried FB dating. It's weird, but
Yeah, I tried it parang siguro one day and then quit. And then I've tried Bumble kasi Bumble, only women can message men. So
I think they're changing that.
they're changing that. That's two that I've tried. Coffee and Bagel. Have you heard of that? That's also one option. That's also one option, Clark.
Taking notes.
Oh.
Monti ko nang bugo yung coffee ko. Pero Tinder lang ako doon before. Nung peak ng Tinder. May mga na-meet lang. Tamad kasi ako mag-meet Parang swipe lang ako ng swipe. Tapos di ko masustain yung conversation. Parang wala lang. Siguro talagang hindi talaga ako pang... Although, of course, doon naman nagsistart yan. Pero yun nga, talagang tamad ako mag-chat. Gusto kong tawagan agad. Yun, Tinder lang ako. Tapos yun, FB dating, panalo, puro dito sa, edi sa puso ko nakatira. Mga ganun. Joel. Tapos wag na lang din.
So, ang next question ko is related pa rin dun sa, because we were talking about preferences and yung mga essentials and non-negotiables nyo. I'm curious, has that changed? I don't know, yung essential na nalaman ko lang siya sa lingkod, pero parang preferences natin, right? Has that changed from the time that you were in your 20s, 30s, and up to now, 40s? O pareho lang yung mga things that you were looking for? Like, for example, Redex, smoking is a no-no for you. Is that only now? Were there things na, or even when you were in your 20s, non-negotiable?
Like, uni, kasi before varsity kasi ako sa Lasal in football. So, that point, I was kind of like, wanted to have kind of like a bad girl not bad girl, but parang open girl as somebody was going out, etc. So, my values at that point were totally different what I'm looking for. So I think from experience, when you date more and more people through the years, nakita mo talaga kung anong gusto mo, kung ayaw mo, kung ano yung mga set values mo, kung, parang trial and error. Nakuha mo, I tried this, I don't want to do that anymore. Yeah. So yeah, so talagang feeling ko talaga ako, it changed a lot over the years. Like I wouldn't date that same type of person when I was like in college, like with now, like, yeah, never again, probably.
Okay. Yeah. So that's good. I think we touched on that in our first episode, no, Tina? Na, since, we changed it over the years. And I think that can also be seen sa friends natin. Sometimes yung mga tao na naging close or binifriend natin when we were in our college, in our 20s, are probably not the same kind of people that you may want to associate yourself with like now, right? Okay, Joey, is it the same with you?
For the most part, yeah. Essentials are pretty much the same. siguro merong one or two na nadagdag, nabawasan, ganyan. I agree with Radek. It's there are things you find out only when you're in a relationship. Eh. Like when I started out, as in single, and then coming up with this list of essentials and preferentials. Sometimes you don't really know what you want or don't want um, until you experience it. So definitely there have been things, but I don't think it's because I turned 40 that changed any of it. So.
Okay. And Clark, is it the same with you?
Yeah, actually, tama eh. For the most part, halos same eh. Ano lang siguro, mas, syempre, when you're dating in your 20s, 30s, medyo idealistic ka pa nun eh. Ngayon, parang ganun pa rin yung set of values na sana na gusto ko sa maging partner ko. Pero mas, mas dapat understanding na siya, yun nga, sa mundo. Na iba-iba yung culture, iba-iba yung views natin about, yung mga hot bottom issues na ganyan. So, dapat rin siya open-minded. Of course, yun nga, kaya nga, prefer ko talaga yung intelligence eh. So anyway, yeah, halos ganun pa din.
Okay, so it sounds like yung non-negotiables, yung nga essentials pretty much stayed the same. Pero yung mga preferences, yung mga, yun siguro yung nagbago ng konti, tama ba?
Yeah.
Kasi ang naririnig namin is yung family values, same pa rin that you were looking for in your 20s. Okay, siguro preferences, I don't know, how do we define that ba, Tina? Yung mga maliliit na bagay. Siguro gusto niyo natin ng long hair, pero ngayon basta may hair, okay na.
Like age. Age. Do you have preferences over age? Like, because for me, ang napansin, well, I've always liked somebody around my age. Not too old, not too young. And I noticed that guys around my age, they tend to be complacent already. Like what Clark said, that, he's okay being single already. So parang most of them are like not really keen on getting married anymore. So I find that maybe I should adjust the age preference. Meron ba kayong ganun? Like, did your age preference change? Like, do you want older or younger women?
Kasi sa akin, okay, again, here, sa akin, it's a different culture, let's say. Sa akin kasi, age has never been parang a baseline. Kasi, ang dami ko nakikilala mga friends ko, even from high school, college, you're like 30, 40, sira ulo pa rin eh. They have no basis. I'm like, sometimes tinatanong ko sila, how do you survive? Literally, I just like wonder. And then I see like younger people, they're like more level-headed, they know what they want. So, sa akin yung age talaga is not a basis. Plus, I would say here, for example, here in Europe, the age difference between partners is not really taboo. It's not. In the Philippines, it is. I don't know how it is right there right now. But here, having a 20-year age gap between partners is okay. Because, people here from 18, they live alone in Europe. So it's basically their decision already. They work from 18, 19, they have like office jobs, etc. So sa akin talaga it's just about the mental aspect and, if you guys have the same values. Kasi sa akin yung age doesn't mean anything eh. You can have like, date somebody who's like 30 and 40 and they'll still be not knowing what they want in life. And, ano yung point na magde-date ka ng person, like Joey or the other guys, we'd be dating somebody like a nice lady, etc. Tapos sasabihin niya, I don't know if I want to get married, I don't want to have kids. Mahirap yun eh. So para sa akin, the age is just like a number.
Have you dated somebody who's much older or much younger than you?
Much younger.
How far is the age gap?
20.
So you're the example. Okay.
No, I mean it's normal. I mean, like I said, at first I was like trying to look my age, But here you realize, kasi na-realize mo talaga na ano eh, you meet people from different aspects in racing, etc., in work, etc. So it's not, it's kind of like, I don't ask like impolite na like, how old are you? I don't ask that. You know, like we see if we vibe on, we talk, we meet, you know, it's not, I've dated somebody like near to my age, 30s, etc. But sa akin kasi there's a different thing as well. If you want kids, you know, which, you know, in time I want, you know, you can't really date somebody that's not capable to have kids as well. Like, you know, it's hard to say, but it's biologically. I'm kind of being controversial here. Ayoko maging you know, to say something to offend people, but like, you know, sa akin
It's not
kasi,
so easy
tinuro
when
sa
it
akin
comes to certain age.
yeah, you know, my lolo said, you know, I mean, like it's natural for guys to look. It's apparently biologically inputted into our head, into our, that when we look, we look for a suitable partner, and we biologically think na, okay, this other person can give me an offspring, a kid, you know. So feeling ko it's in our DNA as well, how we look eh. You know, like that person, okay, can I have a family with that person? I'm good.
Right.
I'm gonna get crucified by you guys.
No. But yeah, because
It's just it's just me living here. It's just me living here. It's just like changed my whole, let's say, dating views talaga since when I was in the Philippines. When I was talking to my friends like in the Philippines last time I just realized like how my view of aspects of dating and especially in dating relationships has changed completely since I was there.
You, Joey?
cultural differences, yeah.
Joey, you have preferences over age?
I've never dated like much older. A little bit older, maybe like same around my age, but much younger, maybe 10 years. But preference for age, again, I think not really.
We can say that it's really tough looking for the right person these days, especially at our age. But have you guys taken the time to reflect on why you're still single? Like, look at yourself deeply and, you know, think of, what am I doing wrong? Is there something, not really something wrong, but is there room for improvement on how I'm approaching this? Also, guys are not known to be self-reflective. So, but have you guys taken that time to think of why you cannot meet the right?
I don't think guys they don't do self-reflection. I would say actually guys self-reflect talaga.
Okay.
It's just that we're not just that vocal about that.
Okay.
Sa akin, it's okay. Of course, you reflect on what you did wrong. You always, kasi sa akin there's no such thing as a perfect relationship from experience. There's always, it's 50-50. If you break up, it's always two people involved. It's not one person. You know, there are always reasons bakit kayo naghiwalay. So it's both of you. Sa akin, reflection, of course, like certain mistakes, you try not to do like the small things. Pero to say like to change what I want, I'm not going to change because I know what I can offer. You know, to be honest, at my age, I'm not trying to be mayabang or anything. I mean, like, I know what I can offer as a partner. I know what core values I have. It's just that I don't want to change my core values if I'm looking for somebody. I want kids, and if I'm like dating with somebody and like TOTGA, I don't want to have kids. Or yung fact na ayaw kong pag-usapan natin. I broke up with one girl after a couple of days kasi she said like, I don't even want to talk about kids. And I was just looking what you can't have a conversation about. She goes like, no, I don't even want to talk about it. And that was for me just the fact na ayaw niyang pag-usapan yung topic about having kids. That was yung deal breaker. I said, okay, sorry. Yeah, just like work after. It's nice time, sorry. Pero I'm never going to change my core values on what I want. I can compromise, but I'm not going to change.
Joey and Clark? Same din ba sa inyo? Or if you want to share kung anong klaseng reflection, is it also about core values? Is it about yung mga preferences lang? Or I don't know, may mga ganun pa kayong reflection over your past relationships?
I think in each relationship or even dating, no, I always discover something about myself. Like the template I can improve. Um, I don't think like intrinsically, like same as Radek, like there would be something intrinsically that I would change. There are the little things that like being able to listen better, speaking in a more even tone, maybe like watching how I speak, what words I pick when I'm in a moment with someone, like taking a breath, things like that. But intrinsic, yeah. So there are things I could do better, and things that I have learned from like past relationships and like failed relationships. But yeah, uh, like always, like if I didn't go through those, I wouldn't be the person I am today. So it's just something that like without those past failed relationships, I wouldn't be like a better person for it.
Mhm. Right, right. Okay, so same with, what Radek said, yung core values, core essentials that you're looking for is still the same, but there's maybe small compromises that you might be willing to do now after parang small things, small adjustments. Tama ba?
Yeah, and definitely those adjustments on my part, like things that I've done like not well in the past.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. And Clark?
Yung introspection niya. Ginagawa yan ng guys. And tama si Radek, we're not as vocal lang. But yung introspection niya yun, totoo yan. And siguro yun nga, after every failed relationship, meron ka talaga yung introspection dun kasi of course, that takes two to tango, di ba? But anyway, yun lang, siguro mag-a-adjust ka for every person na ma-meet mo. Tapos, yun nga, without compromising of course yung core values mo. Ako, I'm proud na yun pa rin talaga yung values ko. Mas lumuluwag lang kasi the more I age, mas iniintindi ko yung mundo and how different we are. Tapos, yun lang, sana ganun din siya. And ewan ko ba't bigla ko siyang niisip, parang may ano na ngayon, di ba? Hindi uso tong term na to nung mga 20s tayo or even 30s eh. Pero ngayon, define na yung mga love language. Mga ganyan, di ba? Parang ngayon ko lang din siguro, now that it's defined, parang naisip ko na ako pala yung ganung klaseng tao, yung giver. So, yung happiness ko is dependent sa happiness niya. Basta parang, basta parang ganun eh. Basta may mga, mga acts of, ano ba yung mga love language na yun? Anyway,
Acts of service yata.
Ayan, acts of service, mga ganun, di ba? So parang yun, nagpo-fall na.
For our listeners, let's list those 5 languages, love languages. There's acts of service, words of affirmation,
Yan.
gifts, what do you call it? Gifts, touch, affection.
Parang ganun eh.
And what's the other one?
Affirmation.
Quality time. Yeah, it's my number one.
Ayan, quality time. Yun nga siguro yun pala yung flow. Kung sa introspection man, yun yung flow ko kasi introvert na ako eh. So, yun. And you have to be out there. Silang dalawa kasi medyo mas yung social life nila eh. Sa ako talaga hindi na office work lang. Kaya parang, yun nga, unti ko na natatanggap na, okay, ito na pala yung maging spinster na yata akong tumanda. Pero yun lang. Yeah, with cat. Maging crazy cat lady na ako. Crazy cat guy na ako. So anyway, yun lang siguro. I have to be out there pero hindi ko rin kasi ginagawa eh. Parang sarap lang sa bahay eh.
Okay, for me, because I'm still single, so I will share my realization. It's not so much about changing your core values or my core values. It's more of, I realized this year, because I kind of sabotaged budding relationship because Clark, you spoke of the love languages. Ako, after that, I learned about attachment styles. I learned about the attachment theory, and I learned that I had an insecure attachment style. So, to our listeners, we will not talk about attachment theory in detail, but I will link in the description where you can find the definition to attachment styles. And it helped me greatly to know myself more. That's why in the first episode I talked about, Carl Jung, and because there's the attachment theory, and there's Carl Jung's knowing yourself more. So I learned that kaya pala ako attracted to emotionally unavailable men is because deep inside I had this fear of commitment then. Of course, I don't go around, thinking, I don't want commitment. Pero it's not so obvious. It's in the subconscious. So I would tend to choose men who are not really that ready to commit long term. I mean, they're ready to commit now, but they don't have like, kasi takot nga kasi ako to think of marriage. And so whenever I meet somebody who's ready to get married and who's thinking of marriage, it makes me run away from that guy. Pero when the guy is just ready to, take things slowly and take one thing one day at a time, that's when I get attracted. And usually these guys are the emotionally unavailable ones. So that's my realization. So in my reflection, I thought okay, there's something wrong with me, with the way I was choosing. So it's more of knowing more why I'm choosing the way I'm choosing.
Yeah, so I guess yung reflection dito is really more on, yun nga, like you said, Tina, it's not about changing yung core values that you're looking for, but deeper understanding of yourself, better understanding of yourself. I know one also na somehow hindi nila nag-working relationship, and I think ang reflection niya dun is why, parang ano ba yung common ng mga relationships na yun. Not necessarily what's wrong with this one person or this with other person, pero ano yung pattern. And I think the reflection there was yung parang na-mix up yung non-negotiable sa negotiable. So somehow nag-end up siya. Ang focus is nandun sa negotiable. But, in the relationship, things will come up and I guess kung magkaiba kayo ng value, of course, it tends to break, no? So parang ganun yung reflection doon na siguro yun nga sabi mo kasi you're choosing the wrong person siguro kasi siguro iba yung criteria na tinitingnan. So yeah, that's just one reflection, parang reflection na naalala ko na share ng friend. Meron ba kayong nakalagay dito TOTGA? Ngayon ko lang nakita yun. So TOTGA means what? The one that got away.
Parang wala eh.
Then that's good kung wala kasi parang, di ba? Parang too bad kasi kung meron na the one that got away. So I guess, having non-Joey is a good thing in a way. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Radek, do you have that?
Ako talaga yung super love. Wala naman. I mean, mahirap kasi to reggae. It's like all what ifs eh.
Yeah.
Sa akin. Mahirap to say, okay, what if. Pero I did like date, and those were the times that I was not ready for a more, let's say, marriage type of relationship. I was just like into like dating, girlfriend, boyfriend, but without yung thought na marriage. I didn't want to plan that yet. It was like 25, 26 ago. I didn't want to think of that yet. Pero I was dating some people and that was like, sometimes I think, what if we would have stayed together and we would have gotten married? Syempre, you go in like retrospect, you think what could have happened. Pero to say talaga the one that got away talaga, it's hypothetical in what if. So I don't try to ponder on that.
Yeah, it's true because you don't know, right? Na, pero
Yeah, exactly.
there could be one person na sometimes we go back na it could have been. Of course, we don't know 100%, right? Kasi yung assumption
sa totoo, I mean, I got married, diba? So we got divorced. But like, there were like sometimes I dated talaga na she was open to marriage, but I was at that time not yet open to marriage. And I could think, most probably, I could have ended up married with them if I would have been happy, that's a different question
Mm-mm.
because I was in
Yeah,
a different
yeah.
spot at that time. Diba?
Right,
I
right. So it's more of like it could have been, it could have worked.
It could have been,
Pero we
and
don't know.
I don't want to ponder it kasi ano lang
Yeah.
different lives diba? So
Yeah.
So I think we tend to think that, oh, it's he's the one, she's the one that got away, na parang yun nga, yung before, I think the term was one big love. It's because it didn't prosper. So you're left with this beautiful memories na nabitin. So natawag mong one big love. Si Clark may iniisip.
Meron. Kala ko pa naman lahat kami meron. Pero anyway, yeah. The one that got away, oo. Kaya nga nag-exist yung term na yan. Meron talaga lahat tayo ng parang yung one big great love na
Aha.
siguro super solid talaga na parang pareho kayo. Siguro na, alam mo yun. Ako kasi meron kaya ako nasasabi na meron. Kasi alam ko na if we ended up with each other, parehong maganda yung buhay namin. Parang ganun. So, wala lang. Parang, oo nga naman, ang hirap din i-predict, diba? Of course, hindi naman yun yung happy ever after So, yun na yung mahirap dun, yung marriage part na So, pero parang yun nga, siguro dahil pareho ng personality, yung ganyan-ganyan, parang alam nyo na kung natuloy lang siguro, parang yun. Parehong parehong maganda yung life namin. Ganun. So, meron. Magkaya na tayo rito.
Meron. So how do you feel? How do you feel when you see her? Like, how do you feel when you see your exes or people you've dated na anybody you've taken interest in? Kasi ako, I see them and some of them are married and then I'm happy for them and then I would see clearly why we didn't end up together because now I'm living the life that I want to live it. And they're living the life that they want to live it. And clearly, hindi aligned yung goals namin at the time we were together. So, for you, how do you feel when you see your exes?
Ako, kasi I still care sa kanila so parang hindi yung meron kang satisfaction na yan, ganyan tuloy yung buhay mo kasi yung sinaktan mo ako, pinagpalit mo ako, ganyan. Hindi Di ba? Parang malulungkot ka pa din Kahit pa paano, syempre kahit pa paano. Di ba? Yeah, kaya naging kayo Di ba? So, yun, you still care pero parang nag-aantay ka na lang na mag-reach out siya. Kasi ang hirap mag-initiate na, hey, balita ako, ganyan. So parang wala lang. So, pero anyone na mag-reach out tapos parang they just need shoulder to cry on. Okay lang yan. Walang malis or ewan. Kasi syempre, friends pa din Siguro yun lang din. May mga ex siguro na talagang hindi kayo naging friends or hindi kayo parang on speaking terms. Pero dun sa mga, parang hindi ako parang hindi ko ma-feel na buti nga sa'yo kasi sinaktan mo pero hindi. I would still care talaga pa din
Ako opposite.
Sure,
I'd be
wala
like,
Yan. Gusto ko sa'yo.
ako opposite ako.
Go.
I'd like literally say buti nga sa'yo. I like literally am like that. No, I mean,
What happened to her?
Let's not. Ako sa akin, I'm not trying to be controversial, but I'm like, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I wish you all the best and stuff like that. I'm like, hell no. I'm like, you're not. It's not. I'm not wishing her bad, but I'll be like, if I saw one of my exes before, but like 10, 15 years ago, and I saw her partner now, and I'm like, really? That was my word. I'm like, really, him, and stuff like that. So I'm just like, okay, your choice, and it's all for this empowering guys as well. I mean, like, because I'm pretty sure Clarence, Joey, you guys know what you guys can offer, right? You guys got like set values. You guys work. You guys want to have family. You guys want to have kids. How many women are looking for that in guys now? And it's a lot. It's just that, sa akin, if they're like, of all my exes in all my lifetime, there's like only one ex, and that was my ex from high school that we still write each other once in a while. The others talaga I cut off. Like, no, sorry, done.
But
Oh,
did
history,
they
I don't want to
end,
talk about it.
because did they end in not in good terms? I mean, your
It's
relationships
not
with
about good. I mean, like, if you break up, it's never good. No matter what you say, it's never good. Even if it's like in good terms, it's always a breakup, right? Ako, I just don't want to delve on the past. Yung ex ko nung high school, sorry to say, I mean, like, I broke up with her because like I went to another girl, and like she found out, etc. So it was not pleasant. But we made peace, and like her husband actually hates me up to this day because the parents of my ex still like write me for Christmas, and they go like on Christmas dinner, he goes like, "Oh, I wonder how Radic is, blah blah blah. What's new with him?" Like this 30 years after, and like even the husband up now is like, "Why they keep talking about Radic? 30 years, we have two kids together, and they keep asking about Radic." And I'm like, haha, you know, like it's kind of funny, but like I'm just like trying to putting myself into value, and I think all guys should. You know, it's not always the girl's fault or the guy's fault, but like, you know, I don't like pondering in the past. I mean, if we break up, I'm like, I'm not gonna wish you well. Of course, I'm not gonna wish you ill or bad. I'm just gonna say, yeah, be happy with somebody else. I'm like, why?
Okay. How about you, Joey?
I'm peaceful. I'm peaceful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm peaceful.
So
I'm
we
not
have
gonna
like
wish
two
ill, but
extremes.
like,
So we have one na, okay, yes, being friends pa rin, contact, I wish you well. And then we have Radek here na medyo buti nga
no.
sa'yo.
Pero
How about you, Joey?
I have a
Okay,
follow-up
yeah.
question kay Rade. Kasi what if she ended up with a nice guy? Would you rather that she ends up with a nice guy or with a loser that you can make fun of?
Ako, ganito. It's if you break up, there's certain reasons that's mutual or common. Yung sa akin kasi, for example, ang ex ko, when we broke up, I felt really bad about it. I felt real sad. But one thing I realized about that is that I tolerated a lot of her negative things as well. She did the same thing for me. But since I was older, I had to tolerate a lot of her negatives. And I know it took a lot of maturity and experience from my part to carry that relation, to carry that baggage. And alam ko, the next guy who's gonna, if a next guy is gonna date her seriously, I don't know how any other guy can take that. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying it takes experience. You know, and this is, I think, advantage. I don't know if Clarence and Joey can say the same thing. Pero sa akin, dating, if you're older, you've got more experience. You got iba na yung level of tolerance mo eh. You know, you're not that mababaw. You're more phlegmatic eh. At a certain age, you're like, okay, that's nothing. That's I've seen worse, or there's so much more problems in different people. Pero I'm not wishing them I'm wishing them good, but I'm like, I know my worth. Yun lang sinasabi ko. It's just like I know what I did in that relationship. And then if it doesn't work out, I'm like, okay, let's see if you can find somebody else that's gonna do that for you.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing for the girls. Like, you know, when I broke up with that girl in high school, she said that to me actually, because I went to somebody else and she did so much for me. And this is why I think why we stay friends. And I apologized to her after high school and college. I apologized to her because she did so much for me. And you realize that after. I realized that like 5-6 years after. And this is why I think why we still remained as friends, because we really talk to each other, we realize certain things.
Yeah. Joey, you're now ready to
Yeah.
share your...
Well, I'm actually somewhere in the middle of the two extremes, and it actually is hinged on like how bad the breakup was. Like, because I've had relationships where after talagang cut off either side, and then wala ka na magagawa dun eh. So wala na lang, parang okay, you're living your life, I'm living my life, it's fine. Again, I'm not wishing them na parang sana something will happen to them anyway, but I like to live I like to live in the awkward. So when I see them, I actually bring it up. I joke about it. So I don't know. It's just
Awkward.
maybe it's just me. I like to live in that awkward like yeah, so I make jokes about it, but I personally I don't hold anything against them, but it's fun for me to have those.
Okay, na-cover natin lahat. Two extremes and someone in the middle. I think same with Joey ako. And I think you mentioned Joey depends on how bad the breakup was. Also, I think sa akin depende sa tao. Because there are sometimes, even though mag-break kayo, it didn't work romantically. If you like that person, like yung pagkatao niya. I mean, there could be things na nagustuhan mo, right? Maybe you could be friends. And that's okay. Maybe after some time, you see na, okay, it couldn't have worked really. And then, meron din na parang radek na, okay, yeah, let's see if you find someone better na medyo buti nga sa'yo. So I think both ako. May mga tao na, okay, I wish you well, parang si Clark then. And then merong, okay, sige, let's see how good pa ang makuha mo. Parang gano'n.
Yeah, I think
definitely. I think yung the way yung sinabi niyo, the one that got away. I think that's why parang wala naman. Because the way it ends, like if you've talked it out well enough, na parang, oh, they're definitely not looking for someone like me, or they're looking for something else. And then when they find it, genuinely, if we're friends, genuinely happy for them. But I still rib them about it.
I think depende rin sa kung fresh pa yung breakup or yung separation. Kasi syempre merong rumination over what happened. If it just happened recently, but if it's after so many years, talagang matatawan ka na lang kung anong pinag-awayan nyo or kung ano nangyari. Yeah. On that note, makikipag-break muna kami sa inyo, and we will end this first part of this episode on dating in our 40s because this will take another episode, another Meryenda serving. We will catch you again in 2 weeks' time for the second part of this chikahan. Subscribe in YouTube and follow us on Apple and Spotify. You get the links below in the description, and also Facebook and Facebook and Instagram.